The MotoGP paddock was heated and chaotic. Marc Márquez's insane performance at the Sepang Test shocked Ducati and immediately changed the competitive landscape in the Premier class. His brutal speed and consistency left many rivals speechless, while Marco Bezzecchi watched the gap widen. Could this be the first sign of Marquez's dominance, ready to shake up MotoGP this season? Let's discuss. The 2026 MotoGP preseason test at the Sepang circuit was intense from day one. The public was stunned when Marquez, who had just returned to the track after a difficult period, immediately set the fastest time. It was a loud statement that the king of MotoGP was not finished yet. Not many predicted this scenario. Before the test began, the spotlight was on rising young stars, one of whom was Marco Bezzecchi. The Valentino Rossi protégé arrived with high confidence based on his impressive performance throughout the 2025 season. Many considered this to be Bezzecchi's moment to show that a new generation was ready to take the throne. However, the track told a different story. From the start of the session, Marc Márquez rode with an almost emotionless style. He wasn't overly aggressive, nor did he appear to be pushing himself. Yet, every lap he completed was neat, precise, and controlled. Although Bezzecchi slightly outpaced him early in the session, Marquez gradually increased his pace and ultimately finished the first day as the fastest rider in Sepang. The atmosphere in the paddock changed drastically. Marco Bezzecchi, who had been chasing time, conceded Marquez's superiority. The time difference, by the standards of the first day of testing, wasn't small, and it became a hot topic of conversation in the team garages. Furthermore, the long history of tension between Marc Márquez's team and Valentino Rossi's group made this moment feel like a slap in the face. In the paddock, Bezzecchi remained largely silent. He focused on discussions with the team and analysing data to understand what was lacking in his motorcycle package. When asked for a comment, he offered only a brief but honest statement. "Marc was very fast today. He looked comfortable and knew exactly what he was doing on the track," he said. It was a simple statement, but it carried a lot of meaning. It acknowledged that Marc Márquez had firmly controlled the first day. Meanwhile, Márquez himself responded to his brilliant result with his usual calm and humility. "This is only the first day of testing. I'm just focused on enjoying the bike and building my feel for it. Time will come," said the world champion. However, it was precisely these words that made his rivals wary. Many observers believe Marquez has not yet reached his full potential. His performance at Sepang demonstrated not only speed, but also mental fortitude. After a long injury and difficult times, Marquez appeared to return with a clear mission: to prove that he still belongs at the top of MotoGP. The first day of testing was also seen as a strong message to Bezzecchi that the day of reckoning for past incidents is not completely over yet. Beyond the Marquez drama, the 2026 MotoGP marked a new chapter for Toprak Razgatlioglu. The three-time World Superbike champion officially debuted with Pramac Racing Yamaha. As a rookie, Toprak emphasised that he was there to stay. With a realistic attitude, the Turkish racer calls the 2026 season a learning year. He is fully aware of the vast differences between the Superbike and MotoGP worlds, including the characteristics of the bikes and tyres and the much more complex racing strategies. Interestingly, Toprak openly mentioned Marc Márquez as someone he greatly respects. "Marc is a legend. I've always wanted to race against him. It would be an incredible experience," he said. However, he declined to talk too much about podiums or wins. His focus is clear: understanding the Yamaha MotoGP bike, establishing a rhythm with the team, and using the first few races of the season as a benchmark for adaptation. He will only pursue his big goals once a solid foundation is established. The drama hasn't stopped. Rumours about the 2027 MotoGP transfer market are starting to emerge, and Alex Marquez is one name that is currently being hotly discussed. After an exceptional performance throughout the 2025 season, finishing as runner-up in the world standings, Alex is reportedly on Red Bull KTM's radar. These rumours have intensified amid speculation that Pedro Acosta may leave KTM in 2027. If Acosta leaves, KTM will need an experienced, consistent rider. Marquez is considered the ideal option. He is mature and stable, and he has already proven himself to be competitive at the top level of MotoGP. Although there has been no official confirmation, sources in the paddock suggest that KTM is seriously considering the move. If the transfer happens, it could be one of the hottest stories ahead of the new MotoGP era in 2027. Besides Marc Márquez, another rider who stole the show at the Sepang Preseason Test was Jack Miller. The Australian rider was consistently fast throughout the day and even climbed to second fastest before the final session. Miller, who now rides for Yamaha, is considered by many observers to be a serious threat for a podium finish in the 2026 season. He rode aggressively yet neatly, maximising every corner. In a post-session interview, Miller said, "I want to show that I'm consistent and competitive enough to achieve big results in the first round." Yamaha's strategy to improve the bike's performance from last season appears to be showing positive results. Miller's speed also puts pressure on other competitors, including the factory Ducati and Honda riders. Not everything went smoothly. Several top riders complained about tyre performance during the Sepang Test. The complaints primarily focused on the rear tyre, which reportedly degraded too quickly on the hot Sepang track. This problem forced riders like Enea Bastianini and Fabio Di Giannantonio to work harder to perfect their bike's power setups. Bastianini bluntly commented, "This is a test, but conditions like these will send important messages to manufacturers about the need for tyres that can withstand degradation better." Pedro Acosta, who was in the news last season for a controversial incident, is back in the spotlight due to his progress adapting to the new cruise control system introduced by MotoGP for 2026. The system is designed to help riders maintain stability in tight corners, reduce excessive braking load, and maximise corner exit speed. Interestingly, most senior riders admitted they needed time to adapt, but Acosta appeared to adapt quickly. This has led some analysts to suspect that Acosta could be a more serious threat than initially thought. Changing working strategies in the paddock could be key to success in 2026. Yamaha and their technical developer, Alvaro Ponte, recently announced a new partnership focused on integrating real-time rider data. Ponce is an expert in aerodynamics and tyre development, and his presence is said to help the Yamaha team better understand the bike's condition outside of computer simulations. The Yamaha MotoGP CEO stated, "We need real data that we can process during testing, not just simulation data. This is our step to returning to our former glory at the top of the standings." Some MotoGP experts have even said that this step could rival Ducati's aerodynamic revolution from several years ago. Does Bezzecchi still have a chance to compete with Marquez this season? Or is he starting to feel mentally challenged? Share your thoughts below